Hey, YouTube. Guess what? I know I've been gone forever. Well, I came back to talk to you guys to give you update, and a lot has happened. So, I already have like 2 or 3 videos. But in this one, the last I spoke with you guys, I told you I was going to be starting in school. And yes, I started school. I've been in there for a month and a half now, and it's been really great. And I've been doing really good on tests. Like, my scores on my tests have been 80 and up. And right now I'm on break from school. I'll tell you why in a minute. But where should I start? Can't remember what I last spoke to you guys about. But I'll just get down to it. Normally I would be 35 weeks pregnant, right? Well, I don't know if you can see my belly. There's no baby there. My baby boy was born on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving was Thursday. I'm trying to get this back right. Yeah, Thanksgiving was Thursday. And I was actually in the hospital for a week because my water had broke when I was 30 weeks pregnant. And let me see how to start. I gotta visualize this so I can tell you what happened. Okay, I was 30 weeks, and I was at home. I was on the couch, and I was watching TV, and all of a sudden I felt this like gush of water. And to me, I didn't really know what it was. So I went to the bathroom and changed clothes. And when I came back in the living room, all my water had just like sprayed out. Like, I knew my water had broke by then because it just like started coming out like a whole lot. So I called the hospital. I was like, I think my water broke, or it has broken, or whatever. And I'm 30 weeks pregnant. And they was like, well, you need to come in like ASAP. So I called my boyfriend and I was like, hey, this happened and this happened. We need to go. So he went up there and they checked and it was like, yeah, your water has broken. And at the hospital I was at, they don't take preemies under the ages of the gestation 32 weeks. If you're 32 weeks pregnant, then they'll take you. But if you're under and you're in labor, they won't take you. So I had to get transferred to another hospital that does do like any type of age of preemies under 32 weeks or whatever, seeing that I was just 30. So anyway, the doctor said that since my water has broken but not completely emptied, they were going to try to keep the baby in as long as possible, at least to 34 weeks. And I didn't know that was possible for your water to break, and you don't have to give labor like soon. So my water had broke 30 weeks, and that was on a Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing happened. And then after Thanksgiving, being in the hospital still, on Friday morning around 5 or 6 a.m., I had woke up and I had like extreme contractions, like very much pain. And it was funny because I had went to the restroom and my boyfriend was on his laptop and he didn't hear or see me get up because he had his headphones on. And the nurse came in and she was like, is she in the bathroom? He was like, I guess so. And he went in there and he was like, he had to go get the nurse because he was like asking me, what's wrong? I was like, I'm having extremely bad contractions. And he was like, do I need to get the nurse? Or are you about to have him in the toilet? I was like, no, just go get her. I'm cool. So the nurses came in, like 3 or 4 of them came in or whatever, and they checked me to see if I was dilated. And weird how, well, actually, let me go back. When my water had broke and I first came into the hospital, they checked me, and I was dilated till 4. And then after that, on back to Friday, when I had woke up with the contractions, they checked me and I was dilated to 7. So guarantee I was gonna have a baby like ASAP. So they took me to labor and delivery, and the contractions is, I can't explain how they feel. They like hurt so bad. It's like it's its own pain. Actually, you can't explain like how a contraction feels. But anyway, when we got up to labor and delivery floor or whatever, and they got me in my room and all settled, the nurse checked me again, and I was still 7 centimeters dilated. And she was like, "Do you want an epidural?" And I was like, "Are the contractions gonna get worse than what they are now?" And she was like, "They shouldn't get any worse." I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna take the epidural because I don't." When I had my first son, I had the epidural, and like I was like pretty much like yeah, just drugged up. But anyway, yeah. So I didn't get the epidural, and they were just watching me or whatever. And they was like, "If you feel like you got a lot of pressure, let us know." So I was sitting there, and like my contractions were coming back and forth, and my boyfriend don't understand that when I have a contraction, don't talk to me, don't ask me nothing. And I was just sitting there having a contraction. He would be like, something, something, something. I was like, just don't say nothing right now. Wait till it's over. But anyway, I finally told him to go get the nurses because I felt like it was a lot of pressure or whatever. And they checked me, and I was 10 centimeters dilated. And at this point, I was 31 weeks, to tell you guys. I was 31 weeks. So the NICU nurses came in there, which is the premature nurses for premature babies, came in there waiting for the baby to be born. So they got me in the stirrups and all ready to push baby and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, this is really happening. I wasn't expecting this, especially this soon. I'm not due, well, I wasn't due till January 19th. And this was November 26th. So November, December, January. That's a big gap. So anyway, as soon as they got me up to ready for delivery or whatever, it's like on your next contraction we're gonna push. So anyway, I started to get a contraction, and they was like, okay, you're gonna push, you're gonna count to 10, and then you stop pushing or whatever. And they was like, okay, push, and then they did the 10 count, and then they said, are you still having a contraction? I was like, yes, and then they counted to 10 again, and then my contraction stopped, and like it stopped for like 2 minutes. We were just sitting there, and I was just sitting there with my legs open, like, yeah. And they were like, are you having a contraction? I was like, no. So they ended up having to give me some medicine to jumpstart my contractions to make them come quicker, because they were taking forever to come. And then after that, I think I did like probably about 10 pushes or whatever until he was born. And when he was delivered or whatever, he was so small. And he had like this little cry. It was so cute. And they took him over to the table, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, go take some pictures real quick. So he went to go take some pictures of the baby. And then they took him to the NICU, and he followed us. So I'll make sure he's okay. And then when he came back, I was like, how much did he weigh? He weighed 3 pounds, 8 ounces. So that's small, but compared to other NICU babies, they're like 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound. He was okay size, but he was really, really, he still is small, but he's doing good. And, I don't know what my time is on this video, but I'm going to go ahead and go to part 2 to finish my story. So guys, go to part 2, finish the rest.